What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Core Ring. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. It's been a few months now. It feels like it's probably been hours or days since the incident that happened in Nashville. And the way the media has obviously handled it is predictable, right? The way our government handled it, also predictable. I think that if the loser that perpetrated this incident was wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat, the musings and planning and paperwork and everything and their manifesto would have been released just hours after the event. Now, only after prolonged pressure from church groups and Republican leaders, and well, all of you, I guess we're getting it. So authorities have now said, okay, hey, this is what's going on. I believe, first of all, leave a like on the video now if you believe that we're not getting, that's going to be a lot of heavily redacted things, right? The way that the FBI initially reacted to this document existing was they actually said, if I remember, it was like, if we release this document contains just horrible, the worst things ever, and like justified not releasing it. And like I've said before, and I'll say again, to me, it's pretty obvious that if the person that had, done this, had been a little bit different, they would have released it already. We already know this because of the incident that happened in Louisville, Kentucky. The loser that went into that bank and didn't just handle their own business, but decided to take other people with him. We knew, we had excerpts and a plan and motive and all this kind of stuff. What was it? Freaking hours after the event. It might have been the next day. We know that he wanted to prove how easy it was to get a weapon, that he wanted to prove that there was a mental health crisis in the country, and then he wanted to self-delete. I think there might have been one other thing, but like pretty sure that's pretty democratic leaning political ideologies. I don't know. I guess the mental health crisis thing is something that I've been I talk about too, so maybe people say that he was left wing, but they basically swept all that under the rug anyway. I mean, there's really no reporting on it, there's no news on it, and that's where I thought we were going to go with this, because we saw, this was just a few days ago, Christians Unite. We need to see this Manifesto by Tommy Lahren. Tommy Lahren wrote, Tennessee officials say the FBI is slow rolling the release of the Manifesto, reportedly because of concerns it could be bad PR for the LGBTQ community. Now, I don't know who's reporting that. I don't know if the FBI is admitting that, but I would certainly believe it, right? I would certainly believe that. Here's what I think is in there. It's just a wild guess, and I guess we're going to find out here in a little bit, but I believe that there are content creators, maybe news networks, direct mentions of maybe like the Daily Wire or other stuff like that had happened. They tried to kind of let everyone believe that it was this thing where, it was a former student and they must have something bad must have happened to them, or this, that, and the other thing. I don't know. There's been no evidence of that. So Tommy Lahren continues, well, excuse me, but I don't give a flying rainbow about mollycoddling people. Perhaps the most extreme, entitled, increasingly problematic community in America. No, I care much more about what I don't know. The national community and the Christian community, after this individual did what they did. Those who have knowledge of what's exactly in the document say it's dark, like real dark. During the search, the house, the person that shared with their parents, authorities found and seized 20 journals, 5 laptops, a note, and various other notes written by the individual, as well as 2 memoirs. 2 memoirs, maybe for other people? Law enforcement personnel and those with knowledge of what's in it shared said it's really a blueprint. Oh, this is the FBI quote. Yeah. A blueprint on total destruction. And the school was just the beginning of what they had planned. This is what I'm thinking. They had bigger plans that obviously, implicate, because here's the thing. A lot of the rhetoric around this whole, the whole community, right? It's even pushed me. I've long been a live and let live guy, and I still really want to believe that I am. But like, eventually it's like, now I got the Justice Department is investigating whether or not we can give inclusive care to look. I think, when you're talking about our most vulnerable in the community, and that's the young ones, I think that if you told me it was life-saving care to give somebody therapy, I would agree with you. If they had some sort of disease or something like that, treating that, I would agree with you. Now, if you told me that you needed to give a 15-year-old double mastectomy, I don't believe you. See, that's the thing. They take advantage of people like me who are live and let live people, and just pile on and then push and push and push and push. And it's like, well, live and let live, live and let live, live and let live. Now our Justice Department is trying to say, well, we have to be able to give, 12-year-old double mastectomies. Otherwise, they might grow out of it. We have to give them life-altering surgery and do expensive surgeries and get them on all sorts of expensive drugs for the rest of their life because we need customers, dang it. There's no reason for the Nashville authorities or the FBI to keep this from the public. It's been almost a month. If it were a he/him streetwise, this is my point too, male Trump supporter, it would have been out day one. I 100% agree with Tommy Lahren here. And published word for word with bold and underline. Also, big agree. OMPS, we're not going to allow Democrats to use the Nashville incident to push for more infringements and stuff like that. The PR plan of the LGBTQ community does not override the public's right to know. And if the medications or hormones this person was pumped with to be trans had any effect on their mentality or state of mind, we deserve to know that too. Look, I think that, mental health is a thing, and we've been demanding it. The public's been demanding it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Well, as of today, now they are preparing it for release. So, Metro National PD Public Information Office told Fox 17 on Thursday the investigation has advanced to the point that the writings from the incident are now being reviewed for public release. The process is underway, and it will take a little time. This is all they want to do is push, keep kicking the can down the road. They want to keep kicking the can down the road. They want to keep saying, we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. Well, we all know that if the person who perpetrated this terrible crime had looked different or voted different, it would have been out day one, guaranteed. In the week since the incident, Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett said that the manifesto could maybe tell us a little bit about what's going inside of their head, adding that it should not be made available to the public, but rather to lawmakers and families of the deceased. Wrong. It should be made available to the public. People have a right to know what's going on. People have a right to know. I think that I would not be surprised if it directly implicated places like CNN, which are using this increasingly volatile rhetoric to where, we're talking about where they want the erasure of our people and this and that. That's coming from the left. That's their nomenclature. I don't see anybody calling for, that. So Metro National Council member Courtney Johnson stated that according to her sources, the document was a blueprint on total destruction, adding that it was so detailed at the level of what they had planned. Johnson also cautioned against releasing it to the world, noting that some parts should be made available in the document in its entirety. In the wrong person's hand, it would be astronomically dangerous. I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit. I believe that is absolute garbage PR speak. Now, do I need to see every little journal this person wrote? Maybe some people are screaming yes at the screen right now. I don't, but I do want to see this note. I want to see the manifesto. I want to see it, and I want to see it unredacted, because I think people have a right to know. It's going to educate people on how to protect themselves, defend themselves, and all of these things. So as soon as it drops, and maybe even later today, as soon as it drops, I will be covering it in its entirety. And if you want to follow that, make sure you leave a like on this video and you click the subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.